Welcome back everyone, this is SweetBattlescars again, and I am back with another unboxing video. Today we're gonna be looking at the Figma Kirito by Max Factory, and this is one of two figures in the Sword Art Online series of Figma figures. And I'm not quite sure if we have any new figures announced so far in the Sword Art Online series, but there may be others coming soon. But so far, I'm pretty sure it's only Kirito and Asuna. And this is actually a re-release. This figure was released some time ago, and it was kind of hard to find for a while. But then they re-released it, and I was finally able to get one. And so we're going to be taking a look at this awesome figure. I love Figmas. If there's any series that I like and then they make a Figma series, I go ahead and grab it. They're going to start doing Fire Emblem really soon, so I'm really excited for that. So this figure looks really nice as well, and for a while it was going on Amazon for like $100. So that's way overpriced, even more than that, $150, which is, you know, way above its retail price. So I was happy to finally get this from, you know, a supplier at a reasonable price. And again, I think this is the second run of figure, so this is not the original release, but you know, everything is pretty much the same. It's just re-released. The number is the same, everything is pretty much the same. So we're gonna be taking a look at this figure, and I just show you the box. I didn't really talk about it, but the back is where, you know, everything is happening here. We have a few poses for Kirito there in the back, as you can see there. So, you know, it's a typical Figma figure, so you can get a lot of poses out of this figure. So I'm excited for that. Now, in terms of Sword Art Online, I do like the anime somewhat. You know, I like the first part, I should say, of Season 1, or was that... I think there's only a Season 1 right now, with Season 2 maybe announced. I'm not quite sure. I stopped following it some time ago because I liked the first part of Season 1, I think it was. You know, when they were in the original setting, then they turned into fairies or something, and I think at that point I stopped watching. I really didn't continue. So I enjoyed the first part a little bit. I wouldn't call myself a hardcore Sword Art Online, but I did enjoy it a bit, and I really like the figures, though. I really like the character designs. I do have the game for the PS Vita, although I've only played it for a few hours. I was thinking of doing a Let's Play of that game a few months ago, but I never did. There's a new game coming out as well, so I'm considering that game, but I don't know. They're pretty fun. It's just, I have so many games to play right now that it's hard for me to keep up with all of these releases. And so I stopped playing Sword Art Online on the Vita for a while, and I'm sorry, this is really hard to open. So I stopped playing that game for a while, but I might go back to it again. And let me raise my camera just a bit here. Sorry, I was trying to talk with all that noise. So I was saying, you know, I stopped playing the Vita game for Sword Art Online, and we have a new one coming out. So I might consider, you know, playing that one a little more than the old one. But we're not here to talk about that today. We're gonna talk about this awesome Figma Kirito, and already he looks fantastic, really nice. Let's get this plastic off of him. So here is the Kirito Figma, and as you guys can see, he looks very nice. The paint job on his face looks very nice. His eyes are well painted. Let me get it even closer than that so you guys can really appreciate the detail on his head and hair. Put that in the background there so the camera can focus on him. His outfit, his armor looks very nice. The classic Kirito dark cloak. The cape looks very nice. You guys can see that all of the lines have been painted very nicely, in a very clean manner. So there's really no runoffs of paint anywhere. We don't have any drips anywhere. We don't have any scrapes. Sometimes I find scrapes and like little scratches on these figures, but this one's very clean. Very nice. See the detail on his hands and his cape and his legs. You know, it's very matte black. It's not, doesn't really have a lot of sheen, which I like. And then his cape is the bottom piece here kind of moves. Yeah, so it's on two joints, so you can have some very nice poses with the cape kind of flowing there. Very nice. I guess we're going to take a look at articulation first, and then we'll move into accessories. So it's your typical Figma, so you're gonna have a lot of articulation. We have some articulation here at the neck. It's on a ball joint, so you can get some up and down movement. It's very snug, so it's very kind of hard to move actually. And his head is actually very hard to move from side to side. I don't know if anything is rubbing against. No, it shouldn't be. So it's just kind of hard to move it. Something in there must be rubbing against another piece. So you can get some movement. It's a little snug. I'm not gonna force mine, so just no. I don't know if it's just mine or if every figure is like this, but the head is very snug, so you can kind of move it. You can see how it kind of returns itself to, you know, you can kind of move it a bit, but it doesn't want to, so I'm gonna stop. So on mine, at least, very limited movement in terms of side to side. Again, I'm not saying every figure is like this. It might just be mine. On the shoulders, we have another ball joint. You can see it in there. So it goes up and down very easily. It's not so snug, but it's snug enough that it retains its pose. And then I think you can pretty much take it all the way around. Yep. Even though he has this little piece of plastic here as part of his cape, his cloak. We have another hinge joint at his elbow. It's kind of a hinge slash ball joint, but it's really a hinge, I think. So it goes up about that much, and then of course you can take it down and straight. So his shoulders, a lot of movement there on his waist. His torso is pretty solid, but he does have another joint right at his waist, so you get some up and down movement. A lot of movement actually, and side to side as well. And then his legs have a ball joint in there as well, so you can, you know, pretty much take them up about that much and down and back as well. And then we have another hinge joint right at the knee that you can see there, and it goes up quite a bit, so you can get some pretty awesome poses with his legs. So it looks very nice. And then we have another joint on his ankle, and nothing on his feet, so his feet are solid. But we have another ball joint at the ankle, so you get some pretty good movement there, side to side, and you know, up and down a lot. So I don't want to block my light here, but so articulation is very you know, basic Figma figure. But, you know, it works nonetheless. It works very nice. Oh, another thing I forgot is his cape. You can kind of see in there the ball joint that is it's attached to. So you can, so these two parts of his cape, the bottom pieces do move around. So you can get some pretty awesome poses with that. So looks very nice. And articulation is good and solid. And we're going to maybe make him stand up. His cape is kind of stuck somewhere. There we go. Just had to kind of move it there a bit. So there's the Figma Kirito. We're gonna set him down. He doesn't want to stand up. I gotta go back and kind of fix his cape. It kind of, I think it's blocking his. Oh no, there we go. So the joints are very snug, so you can definitely expect the figure to, you know, keep the poses that you place it in. But you know, we'll just leave them there. Let's look at accessories for now. Most notable of all are his swords, and forgive me, but I forget the names of these swords. Again, I didn't see a lot of sword art online. I kind of stopped watching after the first part, but I do remember this one. It's a very nice sword, and this one is very nicely painted. My camera does not want to focus. There we go. I think that that helps. There we go. So you guys can see that it's very well painted, very well cast. It's a very clean, solid cast. It's kind of a semi-flexible plastic. It flexes a bit, but it's also kind of on the stiff side, so don't want to flex it too much. It will break. It does feel like it will break. So you can place it in here like so, and it looks very nice. And each sword comes the little cover here. So this one comes with its little cover as well. And there is this sword. The paint is a little more flat. It's kind of this like a dark gray color, but you can see the details near the handle there are very nice. There we go, and you can put it back in there like so as well. So we have the two swords. He comes with the Figma base that you can see there, of course. I'm not really gonna open it. I think people are pretty familiar with Figma bases by now. So we have the arm there to kind of hold the figure, the base there, and then he does come with a few extra hands there, open palm, semi-open hands for holding the swords. And we'll probably take these out so we can make him hold his swords. We'll put these aside for now. And he also does come with two extra faces. I won't take them out of the plastic, but there you go. You can see we have a kind of like an angry screaming face, and then he's got like a sad face there. It's kind of weird. We're gonna, you know, we're gonna keep his normal face. I like his normal face, but to switch out the faces again, like Figma's, it's very easy. You just remove the front of his hair and remove the face. So very straightforward. I'm gonna leave this one on him for now, and then we're gonna give him a sword. So these hands are pretty much, I don't know if one fits one sword better than the other, so we're gonna, oh, I see what it is. So these are just straight hands for holding the sword, and these are kind of at an angle so he can kind of hold them forward. We're gonna give him regular sword holding hands, we'll call it. So they just slide out like so, and then slide in the other ones into place. So there we go. And then the swords probably have like a little, actually they don't. I guess you kind of have to stretch the hands a bit and kind of make it fit in there. I'm afraid I'm gonna scratch the paint a bit. So yeah, these swords don't have I like it when swords have like this bottom part on the handle kind of pops out, and then you can put it into the figure's hand, but these swords don't seem to do that. So I really don't, you're gonna have to stretch the plastic a bit in his hands. I kind of don't want to do that because I don't want to damage anything, but let's try. See, and there you go, I bent the sword already. Oh, okay, wait. Yeah. I think I just broke mine. So there you go, folks. Broke it right on camera. So I'll fix that later with some glue. But so it's unfortunate that the hands are kind of stiff, and the handle on the sword doesn't do anything for you to be able to you know, put the sword in his hand. So at this point, I think I'm gonna stop forcing it, and as I say that right as I'm doing it, but yeah, you know what? I'm gonna start forcing it. I'm sure there's a way to do it, but you know, I kind of feel. Oh, there we go. I guess the hands are kind of flexible anyway, so I guess it might be okay if we. There you go. So you just really gotta stretch the hands, and you can see there, the hand didn't take any damage from deflexing, from stretching it, so he can grab the sword. So it's still a little difficult. You know, it makes me really afraid of breaking the sword, damaging the paint on the handle, because you really have to force it in there, and it makes me afraid for the paint on the hand because you are stretching this plastic, so any stretching might damage the paint. But it fortunately didn't happen on mine. So I guess you know, I'm being a little nitpicky, but I wish there was a different method for putting his swords in there. But you know, unfortunately, I did break this one on camera. Not a big deal though. It's very easy to fix. I'll just glue it back into place. You can see the little slot there. So I'll glue that back into place. For now, he'll just hold that sword there. All right, he does come with a few other accessories. which the biggest of all are his like sword slashes. I don't know what I can call them, strikes or whatever. So these go on the sword, and you can give him like some poses. I think these just slide into his sword, like so. Yep, they do. So you can put Kirito, you know, in some like slashing poses, and this is pretty heavy, but you can see that his arm still holds it very well. I don't know how I feel about these things. The sword kind of slides in his hand because it's kind of heavy, but I don't know how I feel about these things. I guess it's cool for some poses, but you can, I guess, pose some, you know, kind of moving his sword, that smile on his face, like so. But not the biggest fan of these things, but you should know that you have them. And then we have one for the other sword as well, for this one. And then I'm not sure what these are for here. Oh, I think these are for him holding his swords. Yeah, so you can put this on his back, I believe. Is that what it is? Let's look at the instructions. I don't know what those things are for. Oh yeah, that's exactly what they do. So let's see here. Let's take out this sword. And so he has this double one for both swords. And this goes into his back, and it's very snug. So very nice in there. And we'll just go ahead and put the swords in there. Of course, one handle broke, so we're gonna have to just make do. His cape gets a little bit in the way, so you just you're gonna have to play around with it. Because maybe this one goes in here, like so, and then this one goes. This one's kind of hard to put in there. It's very snug, but made it in there, and then there you go. I think that's how he carries them in the anime. And of course we have the handle of this one that I still gotta fix, so it'll just go in there and it'll look very nice. So I'll just replace that later. But so he does have these holders for his swords. It looks very nice. We're gonna give him his green sword only for now. And I think that's about it in terms of accessories. He does have a single holder there just for one sword, in case you just want to pose him with one sword. And I think that's it in terms of accessories for Kirito. We're gonna bring back the camera down a bit so you can see him there. And I don't have Asuna yet, the girl. Is that her name? Asuna? Whatever her name is, but she is on her way, so I'll have her in just a few weeks, or actually maybe it might be more like a month and a half. So I will be doing an unboxing of Asuna as well. So I hope you guys stay tuned for that. And you know, I think this is one of those figures that it will need his base, because his cape is kind of heavy, so he tends to kind of want to fall back. But as you guys can see there, he's pretty good at standing by himself. So that works. So I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. I apologize that I broke the sword right on camera, so I'll go ahead and fix that. My only critique of this figure is exactly that I wish that I would have come up with a better mechanism of putting the swords into his hands. But again, that's being nitpicky. There, you guys saw that the other one went into his hand with no problem, no damage to the paint, no damage to the plastic at all. So it just takes some, you know, playing around a bit and forcing it actually a bit in there. So again, hope you enjoyed this video. Please stay tuned for the next unboxing video. Comment, like, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys on the next one. See you later.